Well, here we are, week number 8 of our journey through the Gospel of Mark as we connect around Jesus Christ, reading from chapters 1 through 16, this wonderful gospel. I hope it's been a great time for you. I hope it's been beneficial and a rich blessing to you. This week, we are in chapters 15 and 16, the last two chapters of Mark. And boy, what chapters these are. There's a lot of stuff going on here, the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. And let me just say from the outset here that Chapter 16 has a very unique ending. It's going to look and sound a little bit strange to you. In fact, if you look in your Bible, you might find that it's in brackets. You might find that there's special notes around it. And that's because Mark chapter 16, verses 9 through 20, most Bible scholars believe those verses were not part of the original text, that they weren't there originally when Mark penned it, that they weren't inspired by the Spirit for Mark to write down, that someone later decided, I'm just going to add these verses. And you think, well, why would someone do that? Why would someone add to the Gospel of Mark? And probably the answer is when you read the Gospel of Mark and you get to chapter 16 and verse 8, you're going to see that the Gospel has this abrupt ending. It just comes to a screeching halt. It almost seems unfinished. And we can read it and feel, well, there's more to be told. It's missing an ending. And so apparently someone came and added one, but that's not part of the original telling of the gospel. In fact, you might wonder, well, why would someone do that? And why is that in the Bible? And what does that mean to us? Well, come back this Sunday as we gather together for our worship service. And I intend in our message to talk about that, to talk about the ending of Mark and what that means for us. So I hope you come back, whether you're in the building, love to see you in the pews, whether you're joining us online just to be safe. Come back for that. But for this week, you've got two more chapters to read, chapters 15 and 16, the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And again, there's so much here that you can be talking about in your groups. And I think, well, what question can we ask to wrap this up? And what I'd like to do is actually take us back to Mark chapter 1, verse 1, the very beginning of the Gospel of Mark. And let me just read to you, this is how the Gospel begins. Mark 1, verse 1. It says, the beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Mark says it's the gospel of Jesus Christ. The word gospel doesn't in the Bible mean a book. It literally means good news. Mark says this is the good news about Jesus Christ. This is news that is worthy of reporting. This is news that is so good, we've got to get the message out. That's what gospel means. What is the good news about Jesus? Well, he immediately says he's the Son of God. That's part of the good news. And then he takes the next 16 chapters to tell us, here's what's so good about Jesus Christ. So my question for all of us this week to be thinking about is this. What about Jesus? What about what he did, what he said, what he accomplished, what he came to do, what he promises to yet fulfill? What about Jesus is so worthy of reporting? What about Jesus is truly, truly good news? So good that we've got to declare it. And then why? Why is that fact about Jesus so crucial, so essential, so important, so beautiful, so good? So that's the question this week. What about Jesus is good news? I hope when you meet together that this will be a rich time for you as you discuss that. And again, that'll be a blessing to you. Come back on Sunday. Come and join us online or in the building as we discuss the ending of the Gospel of Mark. And I want to link it to our next study as we now go into Acts and see what happened after the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And I trust that as you meet in your groups this week, as you read and think about this wonderful Gospel of Mark, that you will be blessed as we continue as a church to connect around Jesus Christ.